first times to affirm my compute. It is compute. Why? I can to say many different properties of the computers. I choose to say this is modern technologies. It's not the same as these mandalas. And itself is like kind of basically calculated and created by the great science of the maths, or mathematicians, or mathemas. And it is very useful for the calculations and writing letters and so on. This is not same as the mandalas. Negated, denials. It is like a different aspect of these computers. These kind of terminologies, they classified infinite ways. And each individual, these things, and based on, we need to remind, based on affirmation, negations. And also it's like affirmation things we are presuming, and we are like kind of what it is really realities. And we kind of based on the negations. It is kind of nonsense. It is like kind of meaningless, like abstract things. And these kind of classifications, maybe we need to avoid things. And next verse, an object that is perceived clearly and directly has properties that seems separate and distinct. But these distinctions are the mental designations, distinguished and engaged with by conceptual minds. It goes together. An object that is the perceived, clearly said, object of these computers. That is the perceived by the faculties, consciousness, mentally, perceived clearly, directly. It has properties, each individual feature of the characteristics that seems separated and distincted. And separated and distinct. But these distinctions are mental designations. And it has many different distinctions, which is the single object, the object of the computers, perceived by the faculties, mentals, clearly, directly. And also there is no other kind of thoughts. Here is the perceived clearly, directly said. perceived the first moment vividly and preoccupiedly, we would say. What does it mean? First, just the first moment when we look at the computers, that moment there's no other any thoughts. Only this clearly perceived this computer, directly perceived these computers. And has particularly properties, its qualities, that the seems separate and distinct. And one is the object of these computers. It has property of the different characteristics. It has color, it has dimension, it has different perspective. Outside compute, inside compute, and how many memories, how many gigabytes, how many cards inside. This sort of the properties, it looks like separate and distinct. This distinction are the mentally designations here. Of course, it is the mentally kind of the giving the designations. The distinguished and engaged. Distinct and to involvement with that by our own individual conceptual minds. And through the conceptual minds to analyze those each individual, those phenomena. This object that is the perceived clearly and directly, and it's this kind of the object, it has different properties. If we make the elaborations, any kind of object, single object, and the object may be most important object, any kind of compute, mandala, or the Andavajya. It has different and the properties. And I want to say, maybe some, if you want to write it down, maybe it's the benefit. In Tibet, first, any kind of single object, the single object, it has unitary or different. Unitary or Huh? You don't know this? Maybe my pronunciation.
Unitary.
Not unitary. Unitary. What does it mean? Unitary. Look, can you listen? Unitary. Big stomach.
It's unitary.
What is the meaning of the word? Maybe you could
And this is same as I said, there is one. Uniquely or unitary. For example, as I said, if a single object of the fire and earth, waters, itself is not the kind of one particularly particles. For example, one thing of the fires, it is compounded, unitary. Many kind of the gathering is coming together, showing the single object. Unitary, uniquely, unitary. Do you understand? Ayar Sanghas. Ayar Sanghas. What happened?
Does that mean different things come together?
Look, unitary. Unitary.
Relating to or existing as a single unit.
And,
Relating to or existing as a single unit.
Unitary, different. Unitary, different. And one single object. Last time, this second Shedra they studied, Single identities, different aspect. Single identity of the fire, itself individual properties of the different aspect. I will break your stomach, okay? And this is like this. And also, different of the phenomena. Different. Different phenomena. If you want to write more, unitary, difficult to more talk, but different of the phenomena, we need to analyze. Different phenomena, existence, harmful and maleficent. Maleficent? Maleficent. Don't look at us angry. Maleficent. Maleficent. Harmful and maleficent. And also usefulness and beneficial. This is the distinction. Now we are studying advantage of the philosophy, logicals. What? Unitary, different phenomena. It has different, harmful and maleficent.